Alrighty, y'all. Hello and welcome back to another one. Today we are headed out. We got 2 days, so a day and a half till opening day of archery season here. We're gonna go out. We're gonna try to do a day and a half of scouting. I've got a pretty good vantage point that I'm going to. First thing, to hopefully get where I can see over a couple of fields. There's a cut wheat field. I was doing some scouting on Onyx. I've been out there a couple times. Got some trail cameras out. I have no idea what's on the one trail camera. The other one, the water hole I had it on, dried up, so I'm assuming that there's not much coming into there anymore. It's a pretty decent chunk. We're going to try to go and scout, get a good vantage point, fly the drone a little bit first thing in the morning to hopefully find some deer with the thermal and just figure out where the deer are bedding at. Try to make a play on them on the 1st. Today is the 29th. It's Monday. I had to run into work for a little bit this morning, so I'm getting a late start. I wanted to be out there to scout this morning too, but vacation time wasn't all straightened out yet. So I'm gonna go out. We're gonna do some scouting for a couple days. I got a couple buddies joining me on Friday, to where hopefully with all of us out there, we're able to make a play on these deer, and what scouting I've done out there so far, we've seen some big bucks. Definitely the biggest ones I've seen in the state for a while anyways. But it'll be a good little kickoff to the year. I have all week. I'll be out here, and then I gotta come back and get some stuff taken care of, some doctor's appointments and stuff next week. But once I get that straightened out, I'll probably be getting another trip down somewhere. I got an area that's covered up with pigs. Hopefully I can get some videos out there for y'all of one really nice boar. We went out last weekend and a couple other times. We shot probably 30 pigs throughout the summer, and so now the deer season's rolling around. We're just ready to get it done. We drew out for the McAllister hunt again this year. We'll be spending a couple days out there chasing deer with our recurves. If I can get out here and maybe get a couple of bucks on the ground, then I'll probably try to shoot some does with the recurve. Been practicing all summer. It's just time for it all to come together. But yeah, we've got hopefully 3 or maybe 4 of us that are going to be hunting out here this weekend. There's some really steep draws and stuff that I'm hoping that maybe if we can set one person on the top of each side of the draws, that we can kind of pinch those deer to where when they go up to go bed, they don't have a choice but to walk within range of one of us. I've got one buck. I think he'll go over 160. Really nice 10 point. And then I've got a 6 point that'll probably go 120. I'm not going to shoot anything. I'm going to try not to shoot anything under 140 inches this year. Except McAllister, they normally do a deal where we can, if we shoot one deer over 125 inches, we can shoot a second one. So a second buck, we can shoot a doe. Normally a doe or a pig gets you a quality pass back in the following year to hunt the same weekend. Hopefully, with everything and all the time I've got off this year, I'll be able to get plenty of time to hunt and get some good videos. I'm going to try to put in for some of the rifle hunts down on Fort Sill for elk this year, and try to go down there and hopefully I can draw a bull tag and go down and maybe get a bull with my rifle. I've never had the chance to shoot an elk with a rifle. I've shot 2 with my bow, but I've got a little short clip I'll put in a bull I shot last year. this weekend I'll be packing my big camera and my bow. I'm gonna take. There's no trees out here that are big enough to get up in with the saddle, so I'm not even gonna worry about. I'm not even gonna worry about that. I've got my tree arm just in case I'm around a fence post or something that I can hang it on. And on that one green field, I was looking at Onyx, and it looks like with the way that field lays out, I'm pretty sure that back part's fenced off. When I was scouting this area out here, there was a ton of trails. I get out there to find out there's cows, so I'm just hoping that the trails that I see there, I'm hoping that field is not accessible by the cows. I'm pretty sure it's fenced off, in which case those are just going to be deer trails, and hopefully I'll be able to get out and maybe set up a little brush blind on the fence line, give me the chance to try to shoot some deer there, all depending on bucks. I've got a couple of Moultrie mobiles with me, and I'm going to try to set them up. Hopefully I get service. There's not very good service out here at all. That's why I'm bringing the Edge, because they'll run off any cell phone service provider, so hopefully there's a tower close enough that it'll connect. But if not, I've got a handful of other cameras. These next 2 days I'm just going to be trying to scatter cameras, and then probably pull them midday Friday with hopes that I have something coming in the evenings. I can get a couple of my buddies on some big deer. Alright, y'all. Well, it's 1 o'clock. Laying on my cot here. Probably gonna take me a little bit of a nap. But when I wake up, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna scout, do a little bit of walking around. I've got at least 2 groups of bucks up here on the hillside above me. I'm gonna try to see if I can sneak up there and maybe get some trail cameras out, so I have an idea where the deer are going through. There's one pretty good trail heading down towards the lake that there was 6 bucks down by the lake headed this way. They were being pushed around by a coyote, so it's hard to say if they're going to be over in this area or not. But we're going to try to sneak up there and get some trail cameras. There's that trail that goes down to the lake, and then I found a couple of trails that come out into a field up there on the side of the bluffs. But there's a sounder of 80 pigs hanging out in here that the biologist was telling me about this morning, and we're not allowed to shoot pigs out here, so it's hard to say. That trail could just be worn down from the pigs, or the deer could be using it too. But I know I saw there was 2 bucks standing in the trail that goes down towards the lake, so I'm pretty sure that deer are using that. I'm gonna try to go up and get a trail camera put on that, and then get maybe a couple other cameras put out without pushing these deer out. I want to have a good idea of where these bucks are going through and where they're crossing. I'm not going to try to pressure them too much. I got a couple buddies coming later in the week that should hopefully give them a chance to get some deer there. You know, all of us have different standards in what we're looking for. There's a couple of non-typical bucks that I might shoot, but I don't know if they're going to be big enough for what I'm looking for. there's a couple bucks in the group that are definitely big enough that I'd shoot them if they come through. So I'm gonna set up about 40 yards off the trail where I have a good shot, and with hopes that if they do come through and I can't get a shot, that they're not gonna blow out, and that hopefully they'll still be here. The only way I'll get more aggressive is if people show up, because I haven't seen anybody out here scouting, so I feel like anybody that's going to come out here is probably going to just go wandering through the bushes in hopes to find something, and they're probably just going to blow these deer out. But I'm going to just try to give them some space and hunt kind of a little bit more sparingly, and then probably tomorrow, midday to evening time, I might go up in the hills and walk around on top of some of the bluffs and see if I can't find some deer bedded down below. Alrighty, y'all. So there's been a slight change of plans. I'm headed to a different unit. I went up and I hiked up on top of the bluffs that were out in front of me, and I did see quite a few deer, but it's so far to get back in there to where the deer are hanging out. And tomorrow the temperatures are looking like they're going to be up in the 90s. I really don't like shooting deer that far from the road in the 90s. I'm going to wait. I'm going to come back. I'm going to hunt this once it cools down. But I'm going to head up a couple hours north and hit another unit where hopefully last year my buddy shot his first deer out there, and we saw a ton of other deer, including some really nice bucks. So as of right now, it's looking like I'm going to get in there with about an hour and a half, maybe a little more of of daylight left. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to try to fly the drone and see what I can see for deer out and about, and then have a game plan for in the morning based on what I'm seeing. There's a couple different areas over there. I've hunted that quite a bit over the last couple of years, and I think with everything that I've seen, I've never seen anybody else out there opening weekend, so I don't think I'm going to have any competition, especially over the next couple of days. But for sure, there's enough deer that I should have no problem getting at least a doe or something on the ground. But I jumped one buck that was up there. He was probably every bit of 180 inches or better when I took my hike. It's so far, and I don't want to risk me spoiling, not getting it out in time, making a marginal shot and giving it a little bit extra time to lay there and it be a good shot, and then it just spoils. It's too far from the road where they're at for me to really feel comfortable shooting something and having to get it out without it spoiling. So I'm gonna just go over here. It sounds like I might have one more buddy joining on Friday, so there should be 4 of us, depending on if my other buddy decides to come now that we're switching spots or not. Alrighty, y'all. So I just got set up here. It's an evening of the opening day of season. I got out, did a little bit of scouting this morning. There's deer kind of everywhere, coming out in almost every field. There's a group of pigs that's coming out here, but since we moved over to here, I can shoot them now. But I know the lighting's horrible with the sun behind me, but there's like no cover. They plant a kind of an oval in here in the field and leave a middle strip, not planted. So I'm hoping that I have enough cover. I've got one little tree right here in front of me that hopefully give me enough cover to get a shot if something comes out. But I've got a few bucks that I'm going to chase this week. It's just I'm trying to get a doe down close to the road so that I can get out and get it on ice Just get the season started. Alrighty, y'all. We got out, got it done. We're back home now. Gonna get some things taken care of, and then hopefully here in the next couple of days I can get out and get on some more deer. It was a little bit of a rough start to the week. We got out, it was gonna be hot. We hiked around a little bit, and it's just deer are gonna be about impossible to get on out there. Plus with the heat, if you did get one, then you have to try to get it taken care of and get it on ice as quickly as possible. Those deer are just hanging out too far from the road, so I didn't want to go out and shoot one, have the meat spoil, so we went up to another area. The buck wasn't quite as big as I wanted, but it's meat in the freezer. You got to start the year, so we get I'm getting this deer processed up today, and then I'll be back out here in the next couple of days. We'll hopefully get some more video for y'all. Thanks for watching.